Alright guys, today I'm flushing the heater core on my 2000 Ford Ranger. This is a 2.5 liter. I'm going to show you what I'm doing to flush mine. I'm actually going to be using water and air in combination, and I've actually made a little contraption here. So this is my water hose, and this is a shutoff valve so I can control the water flow. Here is a female to female garden hose adapter, and this goes into a T, and this T came from a Prestone flush and fill kit, which you kind of see already installed right there on my heater hose. I already had an extra kit laying around, so I figured it best to go ahead and utilize that. And this goes to a 5/8 clear hose, and this connects to a 5/8 hose. This right here, I know it looks complicated, but it's just what I had on hand. This is a solenoid valve that pretty much, I just pull this little blue button right here, and it shoots air through this coupling here. This is the part that you guys are going to have to figure out. I know they make some fittings. I think you can get some fittings to work with this. You just got to remove the safety tip, and I believe this is 1/8 national pipe thread that's here. So you just need to figure out how to convert 1/8 to this hose size. If you go to your auto parts store, they have a lot of Dorman fittings that are actually barbed heater hose size to national pipe thread. This one, for example, was a 5/8 barb to a 3/8 national pipe thread, and they're relatively cheap. I think it was like $4 for this one. This is like $6, $3. This kit, I think on Amazon now, is like $3 for the whole kit with all the fittings, and that comes with clamps. The vinyl hose, about 10 feet of that is like $9. The fitting you may have to buy here, maybe $4. Anyway, it's about half the price of the OTC, what do they call it, blast vac gun. It's the full plastic gun. There's also the more expensive Gates one, but I figured for about, with a lot of the stuff I had on hand, I maybe had to buy an extra $12 to make this setup, and this should work about as good. There may be a little bit more restriction in my airflow compared to the more commercial, not commercial, the more already made product. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this set up, and let's see how this thing works. All right, so here's the setup here. These are my two heater hoses right here and here, and both have vinyl lines connected to them. The one going in has that little contraption I may have already connected to air and water, and the outgoing hose I got clamped into a bucket. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of air through to purge, because there's a little bit of coolant still left, and I just want to kind of see what the initial splurt looks like. I don't expect this to really have that bad of stuff, because I did flush it not too long ago. I'm just doing this because I've replaced a water pump and a thermostat and flushed all the rest of the coolant out. So I'm just kind of doing this as like a preventive maintenance kind of situation here. But here I am. I'm going to pulse this a little bit. By the way, I got this set up at 40-50 psi. And I can already see some speckles. I don't know if you see the reflection, but there's a few little chunks in there. I'm going to open up this water valve here to get some flow. By the way, the reason I'm using this coupler instead of the one that comes with the flush and fill kit is the little rubber piece in there. It really, or what do they call it, a backflow preventer kind of valve. It makes it like a check valve. It really restricts the flow, where this is just a straight through, no little diaphragm in it. So I'm going to crack this open here. And I'm going to wait until the water goes all the way through and then comes out here. Also, if you're using the two heater core lines, it's actually on the vehicle to kind of connect to, because sometimes you have underneath the firewall, it's hard to get to. If you have any lines coming off, go ahead and clamp those. That's what that red piece is. It's a little Harbor Freight clamp that goes to my throttle body and to heat the throttle body during cold weather. Because I just only want to isolate just the heater core. But we're going to go ahead and fill this up. Get some water flowing through. All right, so now we're pumping through. Get all the coolant out, and I'm going to give it a little low tap here. That's why you put clamps on these. All right, I think it's time for take 2. Turn the water back on. I got some clamps on here now. These little 5/8 adapters from the hose to this hose, they fit a little loose in the rubber, so maybe this will hopefully keep it together a little longer. If not, I guess we'll see another blast here in a second. Well, can I hold it while I do it? Holy cow. Yep, I may need to get some more clamps. All right, maybe third time's the charm here. I went ahead and turned the pressure down a little bit. I think it was at maybe like 55 actually on the regular. I thought it was lower than that, but I'm at 40 now. Put clamps all the way around. You really don't have to put clamps on this side. We'll go back and try it again. So we turn water flow back on. See, it's flowing pretty good. Give it a little toot. And it gets violent in this bucket here. Turn it off. We'll pour this bucket out and see what we got inside. Alright, just poured it out. I don't know if you can see that. All them chunks. Now I kind of, before I started filming, I kind of flushed it through with a little bit with water just to see what would come out. Nothing came out. And this is after adding air pressure. Look at that. That's pieces of my water pumping pillar a bit. Yeah, I've neglected this cooling system pretty bad. But I got a new water pump and put some de-rusting thermocure in it. So everything else is left just to gotta keep flushing. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap sides. I was back flushing it because this was the inlet and here's the out, so I was pushing it back in. So now I'm going to pump it or swap the lines. First I'm going to kind of clear the water out a little bit. And if you ever use one of these, this is a remote hose tool, and these things are fantastic. So you just clamp, do that, pull the clamp back, let go. Do that, let go. I'll switch over to here. Put this clamp back. All right, here we go. Let's do this again. Other side. And what we're going to do is just keep repeating the process. We're going to flip back and forth. I'm going to do this a couple more times, and I'll see what the total amount of, garbage that came out is. So it's probably not going to be much more than what we just shot out and looked at earlier. All right, so after you're done, just kind of close off the water valve. Water valve. Just blast all the water out that's in there, disconnect everything, and then what I would do is to displace all the tap water that's still in there, hold up part of the heater hose, pour coolant directly into the heater hose until it pumps out the other side. That way you know the heater core is full of just coolant and all the tap water's been displaced outward, out. So that way you don't have rusty coolant anymore. So let's check the results. Well, finished up here. Look at all that came out. That nastiness. Now that is why you don't have heat. None of this came out before with just water, but add an air pressure. Look how much it can knock loose. And so now let's just hope I don't have a hole in my heater core.